Numbers 6. We're finally going to answer the question that's been on your mind since we started this journey. How do I become a Nazarite? And also, what the hell is a Nazarite? The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, if a man or woman wants to make a special vow, a vow of dedication to the Lord as a Nazarite, they must abstain from wine and other fermented drink, and must not drink vinegar made from wine or other fermented drink. They must not drink grape juice, or eat grapes or raisins. As long as they remain under their Nazarite vow, they must not eat anything that comes from the grapevine, not even the seeds or skins." First of all, this is not a fair trade. I have to give up wine to become a Nazarite? Basically, anyone who just voluntarily chooses to live for God, and in exchange, what exactly? This is a very one-sided deal. What's God gonna do for me? What does a special vow to God do anyway? I thought God helped everyone who believed in him. Who knew there was a preferential system? I guess we should be glad God's allowing women to do this too. After the last chapter, that feels like a novelty. But I suppose we shouldn't be that surprised. God's letting them take part, yes, but they're getting nothing in return. Naturally. Okay, I understand abstaining from alcohol because it's sinful, but grapes? Grape juice? Raisins? Why? They're fine. Who cares where they came from? You would think a God who's obsessed with purple yarn could give some leeway to grapes. And I have to know, who are these people who are just chugging down vinegar? Okay, that better be all the requirements to be a Nazarite. During the entire period of their Nazarite vow, no razor may be used on their head. They must be holy until the period of their dedication to the Lord is over. They must let their hair grow long. Oh, come on. No haircuts? What's gonna happen if I shave my head? What is the connection between hair and holiness? This is even more pointless than the raisin ban. Here's a bit of trivia for you. You might think Nazarites don't exist anymore, but they do. Rastafarians take the Nazarite vow seriously, and that's the reason they have dreadlocks, because they're not gonna shave their heads. Anyway, we better be done now with all the required. Throughout the period of their dedication to the Lord, the Nazarite must not go near a dead body. Even if their own father or mother or brother or sister dies, they must not make themselves ceremonially unclean on account of them, because the symbol of their dedication to God is on their head. Throughout the period of their dedication, they are consecrated to the Lord. I know I asked this about the priests already, but why are we all worried about people just hanging out near corpses? It had to be a problem or else God wouldn't have prohibited it. And yet, I've managed to avoid dead bodies without even trying. I guess I'm very holy. This is gonna be very awkward for Samson, the Bible's most famous Nazarite, who's also known as a stone-cold killer and a guy who was around a lot of dead bodies. Oops. Notice that God is clearly not a family values guy either. If a family member dies, you have to keep your distance like there's a pandemic. Why? I don't know. Because. That's why. So, the rules for Nazarites so far. No grape stuff, no haircuts, and no hanging out with future zombies. Totally normal stuff. Not cultish at all. If someone dies suddenly in the Nazarite's presence, thus defiling the hair that symbolizes their dedication, they must shave their head on the 7th day, the day of their cleansing. Then, on the 8th day, they must bring 2 doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance to the tent of meeting. The priest is to offer one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to make atonement for the Nazarite, because they sinned by being in the presence of the dead body. That same day, they are to consecrate their head again. They must rededicate themselves to the Lord for the same period of dedication and must bring a year-old male lamb as a guilt offering. The previous days do not count, because they became defiled during their period of dedication. In short, if someone dies near you, then God wants you to torture 2 birds and a lamb to make up for it. Because this is all your fault somehow. You know what's really amusing? God has all these ridiculous rules for the Nazarites, but no sex is not one of them. That's like always one of the rules for anything religious. So these long-haired God lovers can just orgy it up all day long, and God is fine with it. Now this is the law of the Nazarite when the period of their dedication is over. They are to be brought to the entrance to the tent of meeting. There, they are to present their offerings to the Lord. A year-old male lamb without defect for a burnt offering. A year-old ewe lamb without defect for a sin offering. A ram without defect for a fellowship offering, together with their grain offerings and drink offerings, and a basket of bread made with the finest flour and without yeast. Thick loaves with olive oil mixed in, and thin loaves brushed with olive oil. The priest is to present all these before the Lord and make the sin offering and the burnt offering. He is to present the basket of unleavened bread and is to sacrifice the ram as a fellowship offering to the Lord, together with its grain offering and drink offering. So, as your reward for dedicating yourself to God, you can bring God more gifts in the form of animal sacrifice because God's throwing himself a party. This is such a harmful relationship. I thought they were worshiping God, not becoming submissive to him. Then, at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the Nazarite must shave off the hair that symbolizes their dedication. They are to take the hair and put it in the fire that is under the sacrifice of the fellowship offering. They had to grow their hair for a long period of time. Why? So they could put it in the fire. Why? No clue. Because God just wanted to see how far he could take this. Oh, you'll do anything for me? Okay, I'll take you minions up on that. After the Nazarite has shaved off the hair that symbolizes their dedication, the priest is to place in their hands a boiled shoulder of the ram and 1 thick loaf and 1 thin loaf from the basket, both made without yeast. The priest shall then wave these before the Lord as a wave offering. They are holy and belong to the priest, together with the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. After that, the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite who vows offerings to the Lord in accordance with their dedication, in addition to whatever else they can afford. They must fulfill the vows they have made according to the law of the Nazarite. You know that wine had to taste good. I mean, there's no way the journey was worth it, but knowing that the great dam has now burst has got to be a good feeling. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them." Great. I mean, you took away my grapes for a year and said I couldn't go near dead bodies, but thanks for the face light, I suppose? It's nice to know we finally have the rules for a job title none of us will ever want. God already wanted us to worship him, but he wants a special group of people to worship him and give up a bunch of stuff. And kill innocent animals. Because how else will God know you love him if you're not slaughtering something?